and welcome to Meeting of the Week this week. I hope you're having a really nice extended long weekend, and of course it's Bank Holiday Monday today, so whatever you're doing, enjoy the sunshine, but please check in with me, okay? So let's get to work. It's the end of the month, it's your last week to weigh in. We talked about liquid calories last week and how quickly when we look at liquid and volume, how many more calories we can consume sometimes unknowingly. So I hope that you did have a time to reflect back and have a look at that splash, that dash, those oils, those spreads, and really take accountability for every little dash and splash you were having. And when we look at the quantities we're having, of course that comes under the umbrella of how many calories we're consuming, and when we're consuming the correct amount of calories, we know we're on target for a good week, okay? But what happens when the scale doesn't budge? Oh my god, you know how frustrated I've been, but that consistency needs to happen to see it through, okay? So non-scale victories this week. How are you measuring your progress? From time to time, we'll all get deflated on a weight loss plan, okay? We'll all have that urge to give up, and that can enter our thought process. Those scales just don't seem to be dropping fast enough. But actually, giving up isn't going to make them drop any faster either, is it? Sometimes we get all too bored with it. We're trying to eat the same things and get a different result. We're not looking at the bigger picture, that it takes time to go on and it takes time to come off. And when we plateau and have gains, and you know, this is all part of the journey, okay? But I hear so many people that get discouraged, they give up, they believe something else is going to work for them, and it doesn't. You've got to really dig deep inside of yourself and say, how can I work for myself? What do I need to do to push through those boundaries, to break down those barriers so that I'm consistent and I get the results that I deserve, okay? So we all get discouraged from time to time, and when we don't see the scales budging, it's all too easy to give up, isn't it? So when we weigh in each week, okay, it's a guide, and we should, you know, there's a to and a from. We shouldn't be weighing ourselves every day. But then on the flip side, if you did weigh yourself every day, you would be able to monitor your scale and your fluctuations that you will have, because we will get scale and weight loss fluctuations. They say it's best to check in at the same time and the same day every week, and that gives you the most accurate result that you could have. The scales can go up and down as much as 7 pounds in one day, so it's really important to try to pick the same day and to actually pick the same time to check in each week, okay? By checking in once a week on the same day and roughly the same time, it gives you a truer picture of how your week has gone, okay? But how many times do you feel like you're all too wrapped up in the scales, you're too wrapped up in those numbers, okay? And weight loss is a feeling, and throughout the duration of losing weight, we will encounter that disappointment because the number on the scales did not actually reflect what you thought it was expecting to say. How many times have you found yourself thinking, oh, I'm going to lose 2 pounds this week, and you've really put that effort in and you've really made that commitment to be consistent and make those best choices where and when you can, and you end up saying, oh bloody hell, I only lost half a pound. But that is such a win. We're not guaranteed how much weight we will lose each week, okay? It's a rough guide, and we should be losing anything from half a pound to 2 pounds a week for healthy, sustainable weight loss, okay? So if we don't check ourselves every week and we don't weigh ourselves every week, how are we meant to monitor our progress? Well, you can look at yourself and possibly see so many changes within yourself, but then sometimes it's hard for us to see changes in ourselves because it's not happening fast enough, okay? Sometimes we don't notice the change or our shape changing, but somebody might give you a lovely compliment and say, oh God, have you lost weight? And you're like, oh yeah, I have. So, you know, that's a good way to see as well about measuring your progress. When we think about weight loss, sometimes we don't think about how we're actually feeling. We're just driven by what the numbers on the scales will say. So think about how you're feeling rather than comparing yourself to, you know, other people. Start comparing yourself to how you actually felt when you started. Now, you know, I've been on a 4-week consistency weighing, tracking, measuring, and I've been consistent for the 4 weeks, and I didn't see, for 2 weeks in a trot, I seen half a pound gain each week, and I knew, hand on my heart, that I had done everything possible that week to get that weight loss. I felt much better, but the scales wasn't saying that. So, you know, we're not just all body fat. We weigh our muscle, we're weighing our food, fluids, you know, there's all different factors inside us. When we weigh on the scales, that is not all just fat, that's bone, muscle and all the rest of it, okay? But I can understand totally how we can feel so deflated when you've put the work in and you've not seen the result. And that's why you've got to rely on the way you feel. Even though over the 4 weeks, you know, I didn't see that drop, I did start to feel better. My stamina was coming up so better. I wasn't feeling so more tired, you know. I was choosing different foods. So they are all wins, okay? When you think about how you feel compared to how you felt when you started. And weight loss is always a feeling, you know. I always say to my members when they check in every week, that is only a number on the scales and all we want to do is get it down. So at the end of the day, that is one way to measure our progress, but it's not the only way, okay? So I've come up with a list of my non-scale favourites, victories, okay? So the next time that you're feeling discouraged or you're feeling like you want to give up, let's start looking at this list and check them off as wins and victories in our journey of losing weight and to better our health, okay? So non-scale victories, ways to measure your progress. So a non-scale victory is a way to track your weight loss success, okay? Tracking a healthy habit. Your weight isn't the only thing that's changing, okay? So your mindset is changing, your actions are changing, your choices are changing, and keeping up with those consistencies is going to overall get you that change that you're looking for, okay? So think of one thing, one habit that you track or you are now doing differently, okay? Taking a selfie. Yep. Photos of progress. So it's like the old before and after photo, isn't it? Sometimes we don't see the change within ourselves, but if you take a photo when you start and you take a photo during your weight loss journey, you will be able to see that progress, what you're making and what you're doing. Maybe step into your old jeans, okay? So your jeans, we all want to lose weight to feel great in our jeans, especially over the winter, or in our shorts. Are your jeans feeling a little bit looser, okay? So measure your success by your clothes. Are they a little bit looser on you? Are you feeling more confident in them? They are all ways and methods to track that success, okay? Get scary on your goals, okay? Take on a challenge that pushes you out of your comfort zone. So yeah, last month you might have seen I've started park running. Well, if anybody knows me, they say I'm not running, I'm not a runner, I don't do running. But now I'm a park runner. And who knew? Not me, okay? So sometimes it's just pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Just because you don't think you can do it, it doesn't mean that you can't, okay? At some point, everybody was a beginner, and with more practice and more stamina, that will come, and you will just improve and you will get better. And it's very much like practicing the behaviours that we need in order to put in place to be that best self that we're looking for. Okay, your rings are looser, and all of my shiny diamond there, look, your rings are feeling looser. You can wobble them around a little bit. You know, I'm not talking earrings looser now, I'm talking about you can feel that your jewellery is a little bit thing. It means you're losing weight. Maybe your shoes are fitting you better, because when we are actually losing weight, you can drop a foot size as well, a shoe size. Okay, so this is one thing that I did notice when I didn't get that scale victory I was looking for last week. My rings were really, really tight on me, and I thought, well, you know, I've done everything possibly that I can. So when my rings were tight on me and I was taking a bit of ibuprofen that week, I thought, it's got to be swelling, you know, it's got to be. But everything that you do will eventually show up, and it has showed up for me over the course of the 4 weeks. I've lost 4 pounds, so you know, it's all caught up and it's where it should be. So think about sleeping better. If you're doing more and you're more active, then you're definitely going to sleep better. If you're eating healthier, the chances are you're working out. Every chance is that you're sleeping better. Sleep is such an important component when it comes to weight loss, okay, and eating healthy. Clearer skin? Well, I'm very lucky myself. Everybody always says to me how nice my skin is. But have you noticed that when you're eating better, your skin is better, your mood is better, your body then is adapting to that diet that you're taking on board, and it's cleaning all your skin, and your skin should start looking glowing and healthy. So that is definitely a win-win. Okay, so more energy. If you're eating better, you're going to feel better, fueling our bodies with those healthier food choices, getting a better quality sleep. Exercising is going to do wonders for your energy level. Sometimes we don't feel like starting, but we're so glad after, because those endorphins make us want to do more. Okay, I'm not saying you won't get tired, but overall you should definitely feel a lot better energy from losing weight and being more active. Looser clothing. Are you working towards getting into an outfit? Maybe you're closer than you were before. Those scales may not reflect that, but maybe your inches have come in. I've lost an inch off my hips as well. Massive. That was a massive boost when I took my measurements, when the scales weren't going in my favour. You know, that just gave me the lift I needed. So have you done your measurements? Is it about time you got your string back out that I gave you in class? Is that meeting more in the middle? Okay, are your trousers getting longer? Because if your trousers are getting longer, that means your waist is getting thinner and they're dropping down. Okay, so little wins like that, you know, they give you that boost that you need and that encouragement that you need to keep going. It's probably exercise which will give you the inch loss. Food will give you the weight loss. Okay, so if you are exercising, have you noticed that you've done a personal best? Maybe you're running or walking further than you were before. Maybe you've started going to the gym, you know. Maybe you can do an exercise now without even taking your breath away. You know, that is all a non-scale victory. Hula hoop longer. Yeah, I love my hula hoop. I've been doing my hula hooping for about 15-20 minutes as well during my month challenge, and I've taken a link out. So that is a non-scale victory. Even though I didn't see those scales drop in, I've seen other progress, and that's what I really want you to look at, looking at every little win, taking it as a non-scale victory, taking it as progress, and making sure that that keeps you positive, energized, and that you know that you're doing a great job and you are getting closer to those health and wellness goals. Okay, so if you're not seeing any of those non-scale victories, or Scale Victories, maybe it's time now to be honest with yourself. How hard are you working? Are you working hard enough? Could you be doing something else? Have you really changed some of those habits, or are they just thoughts that you've been doing, thinking about? So can you claim any of the following, okay, as a non-scale victory? You're eating smaller portions. You're resisting more junk food more often, okay? You can do more reps in the gym. People have asked, have you lost weight? Your clothes are looser. You have more endurance. You feel healthier. Your blood pressure or blood sugars have improved. You can lift weight more in your everyday life. You have fewer aches and pains, okay, because every pound we lose, it's a pound off our joints. If we're walking more, we will feel more looser, and that will help us as well, okay? You're climbing those stairs much easier than before. Your rings are looser. You can paint your own toenails. There's plenty and plenty of non-scale victories we can really look for to give us that boost to carry on. More energy, your skin is clearer, you don't feel as tired, you're eating more vegetables or drinking more water. You're more patient with your kids or your spouse or your co-workers. Your headaches are gone. You're not feeling such cravings. You don't need so much of a sugar rush. You're feeling better about yourself. And I think it's really important when we feel confident and we're telling ourselves we can do this, but by celebrating all those little wins on the way, it's going to give you the encouragement and the confidence to do that, and the self-belief, because we have a glass ceiling sometimes, or a barrier around us believing that we can't do it. So if we start recognizing those wins, we start recognizing those non-scale victories, we can really push through any barrier and we can achieve anything, okay? So these little small successes, they really do matter. They really do count up. So let's celebrate them all. I bet you can even add to the list that I've already given to you. How many did you get? So next week, let's have a look and at next week, and let's start doing a little bit more than we did before, okay? Have a great week, everybody. Bank holiday week this week. Please weigh in if you're about, and last week to weigh in. If you are continuing with me, please can you make your payment before the Sunday, otherwise I will be removing you from the group because I don't know who's in and out, okay? So please, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great week, everybody, and let's go into June and smash it, those summer goals. Bye.